Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zach, and today we're gonna climb some trees. So I'm here today to do some work for a subscriber. He lives up in Minnesota. I live in Ohio, so I drove up here for a little bit, and I'm gonna help him with some of the trees on his property. He himself is learning to climb, and so I think that's super cool because he's not doing it for, to earn a living or anything. He's doing it just to take care of his own trees. And I don't think I've ever seen a homeowner so committed to the care of his trees as this fella is. So it's been an absolute pleasure to work with him. But today what we're going to work on, at least first thing here, is going to be this white oak tree. And it's got this limb that reaches out over the house here. And so we talked about a couple different things as far as options as what to do with it. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to remove the whole thing. So there's also a big dead limb on the other side of the tree we might get to. I've got a tying point established up on this side of the tree. We'll set up a rigging point somewhere else over here, and we'll rig these branches down into this area here. We have this stone walkway to contend with. There's a stone wall down there, and then obviously the house that we need to avoid. So it shouldn't be too tricky, but it will be a good little experience here. We'll have a porter wrap on the bottom of the tree there, and we'll have the homeowner running the ropes for us. So it should be quite a good day. Okay, we got our rope up in the tree here. We got our gear in the ground, so that can be sent up to us once we get up there. Alrighty, I'm tied in right there. Got myself a canopy anchor with a rescue line that goes down over to the other side of the tree. And then I'm looking at different options on how to rig stuff here. We're gonna set a block up over in that limb right there, probably in that union or the one above it, and that'll allow us to swing that brush and those branches and that wood down over there somewhere, and not contact the trunk too hard, because we don't want to knock any bark off the trunk, because the tree is gonna stay, right? Then what we need to do is we need to find a way for that rope, the friction end of the rope, to get down to the porter wrap without rubbing on a bunch of stuff. So I think we might reroute it kind of over to here somewhere with some rings, and then maybe we'll move the porter wrap to the other side of the tree down there where that rock is, and Yale down there can work in that zone, which will give him a good view of what's happening in the tree, and then also give him a good place to work. It's not crowded or anything like that by other trees down there. I think something like that'll work right there. I like to put a half hitch in my double ring sling just to kind of help it stay where we want it to stay. Alright, now I've got a little bit of a dilemma here. Let's see. I really would like to put this on this union here. There might be a little bit of rope rubbage, but I think it'll be very minimal as far as the amount of pressure that goes into the rub, and so I will be okay with that. Try to avoid rope rubbage, just an effort to keep the wear down on the ropes, make them last as long as possible. Sometimes you just gotta sacrifice a little bit, because you can only work with what the tree gives you. You can't grow a branch where you don't have one, so work with what we got. So let's put this in our block here. We'll see where it lays and see if we like it. Yeah, I don't love it. I'm gonna move it here quick. We'll just put it on this side instead. Okay, we got ourselves set up on this limb. It'll work. It's just not quite as favorable as it would have been, but it'll give me a good opportunity to put a redirect for my climbing line on this side and keep those two items separate, which will be good. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves set up, and then we'll go out on the limb we're going to work on. Alrighty, after setting our redirect up there by the block, we were able to descend really quickly and easily right onto our limb and have a nice working rope angle, which will serve us well in our level of comfort today and also our safety. Because hard rope angles for work are undesirable. Alrighty, now I can spike this freely because we are removing it. Alrighty, I did a bad thing there, Scott. You won't appreciate that. I let my slack get below my knee. It's a good rule of thumb that when you're climbing, especially kind of trim climbing where you're not just directly ascending the rope, that you don't allow slack to get below your knee. I have a bad habit of doing that because it saves time, but does it really save time if it puts you in the hospital 1 out of 100 times? Probably not. Alrighty, Yale, if you could send me up my chainsaw, that'd be great. I'm gonna send you a carabiner down the rope.
You got it.
Actually, you know what? I didn't even think about it. You could probably just tie a bowline on the end of the rope. I didn't really need to give you a carabiner. I keep slipping. Alrighty, the rigging rope is tied onto the limb, so if you want to go ahead and get that rope on the porter wrap and get the slack out of it, we'll be ready to rig here very shortly. Alright, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Very nice, very nice. Go ahead and let that down at your leisure. Go ahead and flick that back over to me here if you can. Perfect. Alright, then take whatever time you need to go ahead and get that limb cut up or drug out of the way or however you'd like to deal with it.
You got it.
Okay, I'm tied on, so if you want to get set up for the next rig. Now, a big part of climbing is work positioning and getting yourself into the appropriate position to make it cut. Specifically cuts because that's when you're playing with sharp objects around textiles that are supporting your life. So it's important to take the time to get nice comfy position that's stable and will support you through whatever you're doing. I sometimes like to use my knees a little bit. This limb will be about the same weight as the last one, maybe even a little less. Whoa, bald eagle. Wow, right there. That's super cool. We don't see those in Ohio very often. Okay, I'm gonna cut this off with a handsaw. Okay, it's doing something. It's hanging on there. Okay, so it didn't go as I planned. But we didn't hit the house. We did brush that other tree, which it handled it fine, but I was trying to avoid that. We will do better on the next one. I've got these next 2 branches tied on right here. I'm going to cut them right here, and we're going to be able to do that because these 2 aren't nearly as close to the house. And so I'll be able to take them in a bigger piece. I'll probably try to fold them under because the rig rope's going to pull them that way, but gravity is going to kind of swing them. Woo! Gravity's going to swing them down around this way. Not quite. Nice. Uh-oh. Yeah. The hinge didn't break. Oh, it did. We just got too much tension on the rope there. Yep. Go ahead and come down. Whoop. So that was actually not that bad of an experience, but it was important that we don't do that kind of a thing. There's a chance, you know, when you're out on a limb just the wrong way, if that rope comes by and it's gonna swing hard, it can get stuck on your lanyard, or it can wipe your feet out from under you, or whatever. I should have been more diligent in making sure that the rope got on the other side of the limb. I'm all ready when you're ready. Okay, so the strategy of what we're gonna do here, since I haven't been doing so good in the last 2 rigs, is I'm gonna cut a hinge and let the piece sag in its natural direction, and then I'm gonna start cutting the hinge off slowly, and that'll allow it to swing around towards the rope. And it shouldn't be any more complicated than that. Yeah, there it's that rope. Hold on 1 second. Oh, there, it kind of worked the way I wanted it to. On down with it there. Looky there, nice little foothold, so we don't feel tempted to spike this part of the tree. You ready?
Ready.
There we go, nice and gentle. Good work there.